Call the meeting to order. The Easton Housing Authority's monthly meeting. Roll call, Commissioner Chris Ansheedy.
Here.
Commissioner Don Burrows.
Here.
Commissioner Pam Woodrup.
Here.
Commissioner Dennis Sheedy is here, and Commissioner Tom Tebow is running late. He is en route, so we'll make note of when he arrives. Agenda item number 1 are the minutes of the September 13th, 2022 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of September 13th, 2022.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Chris Ansheedy, a second by Commissioner Burrows. Any discussion?
Is it the same person that usually does them?
No further questions or concerns? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That is unanimous. Agenda item number 2, the October warrant in the amount of $363,989.62.
I'll make a motion that we accept the warrant for October 2022 in the amount of $363,989.62.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Woodrup and a second by Commissioner Chris Ansheedy. Any discussion or concerns? I had one, Kathy, on Attleboro Housing. They were helping, it looked like a fish number that they were helping
For a
out.
mod job, because 2 of our guys were out and we needed a maintenance guy in the units with them. And
Okay.
another one being able to do work orders that day.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah, so he let me borrow one of his guys.
I had a question on the Driscoll and Driscoll. There were 2 invoices. They both had $168 for the state, which I just thought was interesting. That they had.
Probably they're both the same case, different people, same case. You know what I'm saying? Different tenants, same issue.
Okay, so that's the.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
few tenants statewide that they're dealing with in addition to the federal.
This is, I thought odd that they were both at the same
Yeah, they're
amount.
the exact same scenario.
Okay.
Any other discussion concerning the October warrant? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That is unanimous. Agenda item number 3, the September 2022 financial statements and quarterly operating statements.
I'll make a motion that we review and place on file the accountant's compilation report for the 6-month period ending September 30th, 2022.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Woodrup, a second by Commissioner Chris Ansheedy. Any discussion? Anything stick out at you, Kathy?
No, the statements are good, rents are up. As far as ordinary maintenance, that's underrun right now, as is admin salaries, those are underrun right now.
Any reason why we're earning more on the admin fee for Section 8?
Yeah, they upped I can't remember off the top of my head, they upped it, and we will receive 3 more vouchers.
Okay.
Any other discussion regarding the September 2022 financial statements? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That is,
I said, I'm sorry, yes, I delayed.
that is a delayed unanimous. All right, agenda item number 4, approval of the 2023 payment standards effective January 1st, 2023. Soon enough.
Do you need these approved bedroom
Yes.
by bedroom?
I don't think so. I think just approved by zip code would be appropriate.
Which I also think is odd, but
Yeah.
whatever.
That's something fairly new. I think we just discovered that 2 years ago, I want to say, that we had to break it out by zip code because the payment standards, as you can see, are different depending on the area. We don't know why.
Which also makes no sense to me
Correct.
when you look at the 0 bedroom.
Yes.
But I will make a motion that we approve the Easton Housing Authority 2023 payment standards as presented.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Christian Sheedy and a second by Commissioner Burrows. Any discussion? It is strange that the 0 bedrooms are
Higher in 2375.
but
We did go up to the 110%, just because the cost of rent has increased, so we got, but we also have a fair amount of our portfolio that is able to rent in Easton, so we didn't
Nice.
think we needed to do exception payment standards.
so people are finding
Yeah.
suitable apartments for,
Places like Avalon and Shovelworks have affordable slated units that the Section 8's working.
availability is the issue.
And we use that term affordable very loosely where
Correct.
they are concerned.
Yes.
Yeah, so it went up from 100 to 110, is that what you're saying?
Yes. No, one,
Not all.
last year it was, well, 105 was the 02375. We went up to 110. And then the other one, we went up 10%. There are less units in 5.6 than there are in 7.5, I believe, is the criteria for why they changed the amounts.
And that's because of Avalon, most likely.
I think so.
I would assume they're in 7.5, but
I think there's less in more in 7.5 than there is in 5.6.
Yeah, because of the Avalon that went in over by Target.
all right. Well, all right. Any further discussion?
Do we need to approve it?
Yes.
We have the motions, right?
Yes, we do.
Motion.
Yes, you have a motion by Christiane and a second by Dawn.
So, no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That's unanimous. Agenda item number 5, the HUD fiscal year end, March 31st, 2021 audit email. I would entertain a motion to accept and put on file.
I will make a motion that we accept and place on file and acknowledge the fact that it was found to be everything in order, and therefore a response was not required, and that it's always lovely to see an audit come back, and it's all good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll second Christiane's motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Christian Sheedy, a second by Commissioner Widdop. All in favor?
Aye.
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 When the audit report comes in, would the board like a copy of it, or
I'm all set.
there's no findings?
I'm good.
Okay.
I did get something to sign on this, I believe. I have in a
Yes, the
DocuSign.
DocuSign, yes, that just came out today, correct?
Today or yesterday,
Yesterday, okay.
one or the other.
Yeah.
So I have to make a note, once it goes down my email list, it sometimes never comes back up for air
I hear you.
until somebody starts yelling.
Usually Kathy will. She's pretty good about tracking those.
Sometimes, not always.
Would you know if I signed it?
No,
You
I
wouldn't
would not
would
know
you?
if you signed it, but I can send you a reminder if you'd like.
No, that's okay. You remind me when they're reminding you. I'll get it done. Scout's on. I was never a scout, but I got on them. All right. So, agenda item number 6, the ARPA target award funding for the for remaining Federal Pacific panels. All right.
There was an award quite a few years back when I came on board that they completed at Lee Circle. Apparently there are more of them. These aren't the defective ones that were the same that we had at Lee Circle that had to be replaced immediately, but these do need to be replaced because of the age of them and the fact that they can't get parts anymore. So they gave us the award.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we receive and place on file acknowledging the targeted ARPA funds to replace Federal Pacific panels at noted developments.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Chris Anschidi, a second by Commissioner Burrows. Any discussion or concerns?
I would just like to clarify, ARPA is the American Rescue Plan Act. That's where the funds are coming from? Do I understand that correctly? ARPA?
I believe so,
American Rescue
yes.
Plan Act.
There's so many acronyms, I'm pretty sure that is it.
Yeah.
You say this is for a lease circle?
All the developments that are listed
Yeah,
there.
there's some-
We already
yeah.
did a lot of the
Some
Elise
of,
Circle units.
So
I don't know about the
these
new
are gonna be
buildings,
the
it was the
additional
old
ones.
buildings. These are additional panels, correct.
Additional panels.
The new panels had different Federal Pacific panels than the old buildings at Elise Circle.
When is that supposed to take place?
It's
No
in
idea,
study,
huh?
yeah,
Okay.
It's got other processes, other steps to go through first.
correct.
And hopefully by then they'll have built up a bit of the supply chain of those panels.
I hope so. These could be entirely different panels than the one that's needed for the community room currently. I don't know.
It's dated June 15th, so might have had a head start if we got it done. Just saying. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That's unanimous. Agenda item number 7. Contract for financial assistance. Amendment 4050 in the amount of $1,127,218 through December 31st, 2026.
I will make a motion that we accept and approve the APA contract for financial assistance, CFA 4050, in the amount of $1,127,218.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Chris Anschidi and a second by Commissioner Widdop. Any discussion? I think there's a little confusion, Kathy, on, so this is our formula funding
Over the
through-
course of the 3 years, is my understanding, including the opera funds.
So ARPA is part of that, so that last
Correct.
one we just approved or put on.
Right, there's no funds awarded with that necessarily yet, but in here, under the compensation, you see the maximum obligation of the contract? It has the $247,650, which is that other targeted award. It's very convoluted. It's the same as the formula funding award.
Yeah, that's what's confusing all of us.
I know, including myself. I think these totals include everything over
I
the
think
course of
that's your
3 years.
running total,
Yes.
yes. And
Over
I
the
think
course.
this is just for the targeted award. The next one is for the one that matches
The
formula
247.
funding that's been received this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's an upper match to your previously awarded formula funding. And I'm not sure if that clarified anything, but these CFAs are flying. It's
Everybody's
common
receiving.
that we just have to approve it, so it kind of continues our contract for financial assistance with the department, and they just have like a running total. So that's,
That seems to be changing on a regular basis. these
yeah, I don't
days.
know if they know what they're doing, but.
So conceivably, next year, it could be more than 1,127,000. It could,
No,
No,
this is a fixed amount.
no.
not necessarily, yeah.
No wonder I'm confused.
The 1 million is it's a aggregate amount of awards that have been,
Anticipated over the course of the 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, based on bond funding.
Okay.
So-
Anticipated helps, thank you.
Yes, and we also received emergency awards for the fire alarm panels here that we also have to use some of our reserves for. I believe that is in here as well. But they don't break it down for you, so it's, truth be told, I really don't have 100% answer on what all that is.
but do not expect to see $1 million coming into our coffers this year or next year.
Fire alarm panels are up around 8 something right now, so.
This schedule on the last page, the timetable, how is that related to?
That is an estimated timetable. On, I believe, is that just the one that has to be spent by next year, or one of them?
Yeah,
The
probably the one that
2.7.
had to be,
Yeah,
This is probably to help them, since you said it's an anticipated amount of spending through 2026. This schedule here is probably to help them budget their cash flow and their income and cash flow.
I think it'll be a little clearer perhaps when I give you the spreadsheet on the CIP, anticipating everything at the December meeting. That will be in there. I have a spreadsheet that shows you the amounts and the years that the money's going to be spent, hopefully. It is very confusing.
All right, any further discussion regarding the CFA Amendment 4050? We came in confused, we're going out confused.
I got a little glimmer of understanding.
just look at it this way, they're giving us money. That's all you gotta think about.
And you're
Yes,
approving
and
to
that's
accept
good.
it.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes, we definitely.
On the next to last page, you got a construction, is that the amount earmarked for a particular project? A specific project, or?
which one are you looking
Yes,
at?
the
It says construction and
247?
has a, yeah, it has a specific, it has a number assigned to it.
Next to
The
last.
247,650, which is on the first one, that's the that
That's-
is the one on the next one. If
Yeah.
you look at the next one, that is the amount on the next one. They just break it in to 2 different CFAs, and I don't have an answer as to why they have 2 different CFAs.
Okay, thank you.
But that is that one, if you look at the dollar amount on it.
It looks like, to me, it looks like the key to that is in the numbers, the CFA number for the, what was the word you used, consolidated, Chrisanne? I forget what you used.
Coffers?
Well, the whole, you know, the amal, 40, 50.
Aggregate.
Aggregate, thank you. The aggregate is given a specific number, 4050, whereas this 247 for the American Electrical Contractors 147,000 has given a number 4001, so that's probably a subcategory of the,
The 4001 is always the one they give us the CFA on.
And that's also, if you look at your
Individuals.
financials, that's the combination of your 705s and your 667s.
okay.
So your family housing combined with your elderly housing, a revolving fund that handles both of those projects is referred to as 400-1 account.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Now I think we're all confused enough.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Sign
That is unanimous.
And the chair does need to sign that. We authorize you to do so.
We'll move on to the next one first. Agenda item number 8. Contract for financial assistance amendment 4001 in the amount of $247,650.
I will make a motion that we approve the contract for financial assistant amendment 4001 in the amount of $247,650.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Christian Sheedy, a second by Commissioner Burrows. Any discussion?
This dollar amount is just what we just voted on previously? Just
It's in
discussed
that,
previously.
it's in that total dollar amount. This is a different work plan that breaks it out
So
from
so
that
this is
one.
the amendment to this, am I understanding that right?
I wouldn't call it an amendment. They're included in the same, they've included this project in this total amount as well. This is just separate. And I believe because we have to spend this one by 2024.
I think so.
For a specific project? Or is
Yes.
that general?
No, I believe this one, oh, forgive me, it's been a long day. It is, you've already voted on this one?
It had to be shovel-ready, didn't it, almost? or
Yep.
Essentially.
Essentially.
It will be clarified in the December meeting, I 100%
Okay.
guarantee you. It will be on that spreadsheet, and it will break everything down for you a little bit better.
Thank
I
you.
am drawing a blank at the moment.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That is unanimous. Agenda item number 9, QAD Chair Audit. What's QAD stand for?
Quality Assurance Division of HUD.
2022 responses highlighted in yellow.
This was the chair audit that HUD, it was the first I had ever heard of one. HUD in Washington picks random files to audit to make sure you're doing rent calculations. I think I brought this to the board's attention before. There were some inconsistencies which were elaborated in the audit that we had to respond to, and actually right up until I got here, we were still working on. As you can see, the repayments that are owed, the $1308 and the $68, the corrections have been made, and we have to upload the corrections to HUD to answer to them. And it will be done by the end of our fiscal year. The findings were resolved on finding number 2022-02F. It was an isolated case. They pulled random files. Some of the issues were something even as simple as when they put the income information into the computer, instead of listing as Social Security, disability income, they might have just put down Social Security. Well, I guess that causes problems with the 5/8. you have to be very specific when you're inputting. You can't just put Social Security down. It has to be broken down as disability income or SSI income or just Social Security income. They're doing this on the medium to small authorities, I guess. This is something fairly new. And then on one of the
Did
cases,
they give you the purpose for that? Why is that necessary that we
they just want to make sure we're
distinguish the-
calculating rent correctly, and we should be identifying what the person's income is in order to calculate the rent.
But it's all Social Security, it's all.
It
Social
is,
Security,
correct.
Social Security disability.
Oh, what do you mean, the difference between SSI versus SS?
Yeah,
Yeah.
why do you have?
Either
to-
way,
why
it comes
is
from
that?
Social Security, right? That's
Yeah.
my point. Well, they don't accept that as an answer. We went back and forth. This took, I think I told you, quite a bit of time to do. Jamie Berryman helped me out with this quite a bit because some of this stuff was just totally off. I don't, they make this program so difficult that it opens itself up to making errors. It's not easy. For instance, one of the cases that they found us on was a shared living situation that they had a finding on it, but yet they didn't have an answer on how to correct it and had to go to headquarters to correct it, and then came back to us with advice on how to correct it. Not a common voucher, so they didn't know the answer. We did the correction. Another issue is, just for instance, some of the things we corrected that they had findings on that weren't findings were our payment standards. They wanted to know why we use different payment standards for every town. They'd never seen that before.
Now we use 2 for one town.
So
Just did that.
we said to them, because the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, our jurisdiction for the vouchers is the Commonwealth. Every town has a different payment standards. They said, well, we've never heard that. And our response was, well, did you talk to your field office? We're headquarters, we don't talk to the field office. That was the response we got. But that was a finding that they wound up backing out of this. At one of the meetings, we were on the phone for 2.5 hours with them, and a lot of the things they said were findings were not. They didn't know
backed
the
out.
program. They didn't know the program themselves. Either way, we want to keep them happy. We are still working on this. We have to file a response by tomorrow, which we will have ready for them, and the corrections have been made. A lot of it was human error, truthfully. Just inputting things incorrectly. Missing a decimal point
Transposing
on
a
an
number.
interest rate. Instead of it being 0.0075, it was 0.075. It didn't make any difference to the calculation, but HUD picked up on that. So, we have corrected the issues and hope going forward we don't ever have another chair audit or make any errors, but
So is the audit itself complete and this?
from HUD, yeah,
Yeah.
they're done.
So
Yeah,
that's
they want a
complete now, it's
response.
just a response, and
Correct.
so this isn't gonna go away for a while.
No, we'll go, yeah, no, it's fine. We'll have the response. They gave us till the 12th. And being Friday's a holiday, we'll have it in tomorrow. It's not a problem. And they were also the ones that wanted all this information. And they gave me a day's notice. And it's a little, it's a bit much.
I'm curious, when you were communicating with Housing and Urban Development, the federal government, during this audit, did you get the sense that you were speaking with government employees, or do you suspect that maybe they farmed some of it out to a subcontractor?
No, they, as a matter of fact, the rep that we had came from Rhode Island Housing Authority and was new to the position. And basically, we had to upload the whole PHA plan, which is 500 pages, which is fine, that wasn't the problem. But they wouldn't read the criteria that's in our PHA plan and then told us that we weren't following our plan when we were and had to show them the sections. They'd only read the section, not the subsection.
Yes,
And
the
we had to
title
circle
instead of
back
the-
around and say, well, this is why. So I don't know why they asked for the plan if they weren't actually going to look at it and read through it. Truthfully, it felt like it was, and I gotcha, we're gonna get you. But then at the end of it, they indicated, first they let us believe that we were gonna have to have a complete file audit. at the end of it, they actually asked if they could use our PHA plan because they liked a lot of the things that were in it. And they learned a lot about it, so, and they said we're doing a good job. But truthfully, sometimes I think auditors have to find things to justify a job.
Right. But when you said they learned from it,
Yes,
I got that from your earlier conversation, that they were on a learning curve themselves.
correct, correct. To
Okay.
not know why Massachusetts has all different payment standards is just ridiculous. I think anybody that knows anything about Section 8 in Massachusetts, no, every town has a different, and you have to get that payment standard and utility allowance in each town you have a voucher in order to calculate the rent. Why they wouldn't have known that is amazing.
Well, I'd just like to mention that I am very sorry that you had to be a guinea pig for their inabilities. And I think you handled it, despite it being an absolute last minute, overwhelming audit that was literally, what they found were so minimal.
Yes,
Right, in comparison.
Yes.
In
To the
comparison.
hours you spent.
yes, yeah, thank you.
Minuscule in comparison.
Well, hopefully we don't have to go through another one anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know, do you need us to receive and place on file?
I would, yeah, just to be safe.
Okay, I will motion that we receive and place on file the HUD 2022 Quad Chair audit on our calculation of housing and assistant payments.
We have a motion by Commissioner Christine Sheedy, a second by Commissioner Burrows. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That is unanimous.
Thank you all.
Agenda item number 10.
Thank you.
Thank you. The Director's Report. I would entertain a motion that we accept and put on file.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Christian Sheedy and a second by Commissioner Widow. Any discussion?
Did you say 46 Parker is second floor?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. The good news is we're on to younger disabled, so we might be able to fill it now. Because you dropped below the quota.
Okay.
Rents are going up slightly
Yeah.
in the year, about
Well, we've
6,000.
filled a lot, yeah.
So it's just filling vacancies for the most part?
Yeah, pretty much.
And you do your research by
Every year.
Every year?
We do them every year. Yes.
Are they on move-in or
Yes.
on a certain month?
Move in.
Move-in.
So it's on a rolling basis.
So the people that get recertified in December make out because they won't have to claim that 8.9?
No, they get their letters in December, we know that it's coming, so, yeah. It depends.
If it's a December
If it's a-
1st effective date,
Yeah.
so they get off for 11 months basically, right? Until
Yes,
next
no,
year.
not if it's a 10% increase. We'll see what it is this year.
8.9.
Okay.
I heard 8.7.
8.9. Any other discussion regarding the executive director's report? How often do the inmates come? Do we just let them in?
She just
Abington
calls me.
and
Some
they
days
want-
she'll say, hey, do you want them today? We always have something for them.
Yeah, so you never refuse? It's like
Never
sending them,
refuse
right?
them,
Well,
correct. We'll always
yeah,
find a purpose.
There's always leaves or something out there,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Usually we put them in vacancies because they, believe it or not, for instance, Chandler Way, that's great having them down there.
Yeah, we're using them in Abington right now to paint the
Yep,
hallways,
We've done that.
stairwells.
yeah, we've done that too. It's a great resource.
It's a big
Yeah.
help, because we'd
Yeah.
never get to them, ever.
Correct, yep.
Never happen.
You haven't seen them once this year,
Really?
really.
Took a while, but they were, first day was this week that they reported to us, and it's like, it's.
Did you write them a letter? Typically, I'll write,
Oh, I wrote them a letter. I
to the
talked
sheriff?
I
Yeah.
talked to Naomi. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
wow.
Hmm.
You'd think that would be, I mean, it's right around the corner.
Yes, it is.
Maybe they like taking them for a little ride.
They usually like what we serve them for lunch, so they usually like to come to us.
Yeah. Wow.
I know, just kind of reminded me, like, oh, no, we haven't been here all year.
All right, any further comments or discussion regarding the executive director's report? Hearing none, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, that is unanimous. And agenda item number 11, questions and concerns. You're up, ladies. Your turn. Hearing none.
All I can say is the new lights are very nice.
Thank you.
And
Thank
thank you for putting them out,
Thank you.
Thank you.
because it lights it up when you walk at night.
I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah,
I did notice the gazebo over at least, that has the nice walkway that people can,
That they did when they did the paving around.
The ramps.
They
and
did
When we did the
that.
ramps, we had to.
does that have curb cuts so that people can get up onto that, or I didn't
No, I
notice
think it was
that?
flat. I believe that one's just
Flat.
flat.
Yes,
It's
it is.
flat?
Because they didn't need
Yeah.
a curb cut because of the grade of the property.
Yeah, that's what this one out here needs, something along those lines.
We did that one as a change order when they did the paving, when they did the ramp job.
Yeah. Yep, because I did look, I know there were concerns last month with getting to this one, and
Rightfully so.
I did look at it, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I can see the challenges if you have, particularly if you have mobility issues, that, of course, a great deal of the population has to some extent or another, so.
Is that something that we can, or should consider putting on the capital plan, or is that something that would be something we could try to slip in
Yeah,
on our
definitely
own?
something we can look into. I mean, capital plans, as you know, pretty much slated, unless you need smaller projects, and that would be, but some of our bigger projects are really eating into this, that we have
Yes.
to do. Health and safety, as far as the fire alarm system just is.
So it's possible that if we are doing well, that we could maybe
Yeah, I would
dip into
definitely
some of
put
our
it
operating
in
reserves
next
or
year.
something?
I don't know. That has to be in your capital improvement plan, something like that.
Oh, okay,
That would have to be.
it would have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta be
Yeah.
ADA compliant.
Yeah,
and
it would have
it's
to
a
be
little
in
more-
design,
It's a little more complicated than just,
right? I mean, it's definitely something we can try to put in there with an estimated cost next capital planning cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
If I'm not
The town-
mistaken, when you, in the, what I've received, it looked like you mentioned it in general terms as far as doing cuts around the parking areas and stuff. You call it access. Is that, did I misread that or something that's already included in the plan?
I'm not
Could that
sure.
fall under that umbrella, I'm saying?
What,
you know?
I don't know what you're referring to.
Well, it went along with the walkways and that whole
That's
general
years.
packet, but you also added
That would be years away.
access from the parking lots for the tenants and stuff, so would that be,
Possibly. I mean, we're not even close
So
to
that's
being
something
in
that's already
something
on the
designed for
capital
that. I would think we could probably do something like this sooner than that. That's gonna be years away. The biggest thing that we're proposing in this plan, and we'll address all this in the December meeting, is windows and siding. The envelope of the buildings, energy conservation, and things of that nature seem to take precedence. The windows need to be done, siding needs to be done, and those are big jobs, so it takes.
Based on pressure from DHCD, I
Um,
understand, right?
Well, yes and no. You go around facilities, and based on the funding, you do what is best for the development, or you try to do what's best for the development as far as preserving your property is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And they're big on energy conservation, and siding and windows would contribute to that. And the Go Green that all the government is wanting to do right now, so.
Plus, everything has a useful life expectancy.
Right.
And when certain things start to approach that, it triggers capital improvement projects that should be wrapped into your planning.
Uh-huh.
Because they know the dates and the years on windows and siding and doors, and so when it is approaching its useful life expectancy, you should be wrapping it into an upgrade.
For example, we weren't going to do siding on buildings. The window project was farther out. It doesn't make sense to do one without the other. So we tried to wrap it into one project
Uh-huh, yeah,
because it doesn't make any sense not to.
right. I
I'm
understand that.
I'm going back pre-COVID when, I remember the meeting you had, the advisor, of I guess you'd call him an advisor from the state, was here for that
He'll
meeting.
be coming to
Sure.
December's
He will be
meeting.
coming to the
Yeah.
December meeting?
Yep, our RCAT representative, yes.
Yeah, I think that's very helpful.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you hear that, ladies, at the December meeting when we discussed the capital improvement plan? Our regional capital improvement tech our representative from DHCD will be here at the meeting
Oh, I will
to
be
help
here.
answer questions, I'm sure, right?
Mhm. Yep. And it's all based
And
on
spread the
funding.
word.
It's all based on funding too.
Who's your ACAT rep?
Now it's Joe, he replaced Greg. Greg was great. Joe, so far, I mean, he seems like he's very good too. Newer to it, but more than willing to come to the meeting and, been really good.
Very good.
Thank you.
One
Yes,
last
thanks.
question for me, but before we set the December date, is there any holiday party plans, or?
There is not, to my knowledge, the resident service person was gonna do it. The December meeting, we have to do December 13th because that's what we advertise for the annual plan at 5 o'clock.
December 13th was gonna be the suggestion, so I'm glad we're
I
on the
think
same
we planned that
page.
ahead of time.
All right, so the next meeting will be December 13th. Last one of the year, so that'll be,
It'll be a doozy.
I think that's a commercial, isn't it? I hear that one. Any other questions or concerns, ladies, anything?
No, I'm being quiet.
We're good? Well, thank you. But, all righty, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Motion by Commissioner Chris Anshidi, a second by Commissioner Whitup. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nobody.
and I just have a question now that the meeting is closed. What was the status of Tom, I'm concerned?
He's in a meeting.
Okay.
What did he say to me? Because I sent to him when we got to the